Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Dom and Cinnamon Sugar. Okay, so the sun is about to set if it does, because I don't know if it want to rain. I don't know what it want to do, but it was kind of like drizzling when I was on my way to the store earlier. But I'm back at the house now, and it is not even 8 a.m. yet. What time is it? Yeah, it's about to be 7 a.m. So just to give you somewhat of a reference, depending on what time you do log on and you see this video. Anyway, I just wanted to give y'all an update on something that I just found out. So y'all know my buddy that, had the situation that happened at work where the dude sexually harassed him, right? I asked him about something this morning because sometimes when he's at work, he'll call me. And 99% of the time, I'll answer the phone because I'm up, because I keep the hours that I would be up when I'm at work. So it's early morning, and I'm like pretty much the only person that would answer my phone that's not at work. So we actually be talking. We be talking about random stuff, whether it's work, things happening in the world, or whatever. He just texted me now because I told him that he better be awake because he be so tired. He's been pulling 12s because it has been days when it's been his actual shift to pull the 12s, and other times that he's volunteered because he's trying to really work a lot this month so that he and his baby mama can figure out what they're going to do, because she might become the primary breadwinner while he stays at home to be a full-time dad. Stay-at-home dad. While she pursues her dreams as far as what she wanted to do school-wise, and she's going to be able to do that and work at the same time. So that might be what they're going to do. But they're in talks to figure out what they're going to do now. He's either going to be at the house full-time, or he's going to take up a part-time job somewhere else, because I don't think they do part-time at my job anymore. They've had positions like that before, but because the way that it goes, it kind of inconveniences them, because if they need you, they literally cannot draft them to stay over or come in early. So, I think they would have to volunteer, and they cannot have them to stay any longer than what they volunteer for. I don't know. Y'all, he calling me right now. I'm going to be back, and I'm going to tell y'all what happened, okay? All right. Okay, anyway, as you can see, I've been on the phone for like a couple of minutes, and now it's brightening up a little bit. The sun still ain't out. The street lights and things on. The street don't even know if it's trying to rain or whatever. Like, we don't know if it's going to be overcast. I don't know. Anyway, I done got off the phone with him. So let me finish telling y'all what I was going to tell y'all. So anyway, he going to tell me, he was like, oh, well, I thought I told you. So first of all, like I said, normally I'm like the only person that's up and awake. And so he takes it upon himself to reach out to me. And so we be talking. And so, I don't mind, because I don't really like being on the phone. But if I'm going to be on the phone, we need to be talking about something, because otherwise it's going to make me sleepy and I want to get off the phone, and I don't like being on the phone as it is. So you're going to have to do something to keep my interest. So anyway, I brought up somebody in particular, right? Because he said that was his homeboy. He was cool with him or whatever. So I was like, oh, okay. I'd be doggone if I done brought him up today and he was like, man, F him, all this other stuff. I was like, what you talking about? Wait a minute. I'm over here thinking maybe he thought that I said somebody else's name. So I was like, I just said this person, right? He was like, yeah, I heard you the first time. F him, this, and repeating himself. I'm like, what happened? What you mean? Come to find out, this man sat up here and gave his number to the person who sexually harassed him. I said, excuse me, wait a minute, rewind. I don't understand what you mean, because ain't no way I'm hearing what you saying, because it don't even sound right. What you said, running back? And he was like, yeah, he gave that dude my number. I was like, why would he do that? Like, nobody. I'm sorry. The way I was raised is, unless the person who the number belongs to gives you permission to give someone else their number, you are not to give out anybody's number. I don't understand what he was giving out this man's number for. So he gonna tell me that he reached out. I was like, wait a minute. At first he wouldn't even tell me. I was like, well, what did he say to you when he reached out? Because I knew he reached out. So he kept ignoring me. He kept talking about everything at work, like other random stuff that was actually popping off at work that can make your day, bad if you don't know how to handle it or whatever. And so I was just like, okay, I'm going to let him get that out. And then I'm going to go back to what I asked, because I need to know what is going on here and what was said. So eventually we circled back and I was like, okay, so what happened? He was like, oh, so I didn't tell you. I was like, no, you didn't tell me this man texted you. As many times as this man reached out to me asking for your number, as many times as he has reached out to other people and said, hey, tell him this, tell him that I will pay him to tell them people that it was a joke, I need my job, this. Why would you think I would know that? I didn't know this. Now, he got paid to be off for 2 weeks, my friend. So he just came back, this week? Wait a minute, last week. See, I'm already getting things mixed up because I ended up working and I wasn't even supposed to work. But anyway, he came back last week. So, on the 8th. And so I'm like, okay, no. What was said? What even happened? And so he was like, oh, I'm a screenshot and send it to you. So I was like, okay. He sent me the screenshot. So while we were on the phone talking, he was like, oh, I sent it to you. I was like, okay. I'm reading it and I'm just looking like, this man got too much audacity for me. He was like, hey, yo, bro, this is, said his name and all of this. Why this person ain't got the first bit of a light on and they got a brand new vehicle? What is going on? Here in this state, if you don't have your lights on when it's cloudy and it is on the darker side like it is right now, you can get a ticket. If it's raining, even if it's sprinkling and the sun out, you can get a ticket. I don't understand what's going on here, because I had to learn that randomly. I forgot who said that to me. I didn't know what was going on. But I think I might have been taking somebody home or something. I don't know. And this was like when I first got a vehicle when I was living here after not having a vehicle for 5 years. And they said, oh, when it's, the sun ain't up or something like that, because my lights, they cut on at the car that I had. If it's not dark enough, my light ain't gonna cut on. So I would have to manually turn them on until it got dark enough for them to, cut on by themselves. Because I'm like, I ain't finna pay. When I tell you, these people will try to give you a ticket for anything that will give them money, they will find a way to give it to you. Send it to you, be like, hey, you got to pay money for this. I'm so sick and tired of these people don't know what to do. But anyway, back to what was going on. So he done sent me the text message screenshot. He told me, hey, yo, bro, this is, whatever his name. And he was like, I just want to say that I'm sorry for what I did. And then he gonna send another text message about some, only you can save my job. You need to tell the supervisor, you need to tell HR, the supervisor and all them that it was just a joke. You the only one who could save me, whatever. I was like, so anyway, he ended up texting him back. He was like, I don't know who gave you my number, but you need to stop texting me. So he was like, all right, bro, I just wanted to say that, but please, I need you. You the one who can save my job. I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I do not understand. Now, I don't know when his phone got cut back on, but the dates that the text messages happened, it was like the very end of the month. Excuse me. So I think like right when his phone got cut back on had to have been when it happened. But anyway, so like I was telling y'all earlier, I brought up the guy, and that's why he was like F him and all this other stuff. So this is the reason why. Because he done gave this man his number. He don't want nothing to do with this man. He already was like, I don't got nothing to say to him before this even went down. Like, he would see him coming and he would go to the opposite direction. Or he would ignore him and start talking to me or talk to somebody else. He would barely say, hey back to him whenever he would say anything to him. Like, he already was becoming distant because he didn't want nothing to do with him because he already was getting a certain type of vibe from him. Why this person keep... Y'all, I promise y'all, if y'all were seeing what I'm seeing, y'all be like, what is this person doing? This person done passed me at least 4 times with no lights on. And in a Kia Soul. It's like, what are you trying to prove? I don't understand. Anyway, ain't got the first bit of a light on. Where the police at? Normally they be spinning the block. So anyway, but yeah, he was just like, yeah, I ain't got nothing to do with him no more. They ain't my homeboy. Like, he done went off. Like, he said he don't have no dealings with him no more. Because before all of that, before he found out who it was for sure, for certain, he thought about it. Because he was trying to figure out, he was like, who would get him my number? Oh, this person is busting a U-turn and just coming back around. Why are you wasting gas? There's something wrong with this man. I'm about to watch him, see if he turn on this street and then come back up. Because why are you running? I think this man is going to the street that I be busting a quick U-turn at, or whatever you want to call it. It ain't even 3-point turn. And then coming back up the street. Like, what is wrong? Gas is too high for all of this. And it's an SUV type situation. Even though it's a Kia Soul, I'm just saying. Like, I ain't mad. I ain't trying to read nobody got a Kia Soul. But what is the reason? I don't understand. Hopefully he done went home now. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry, y'all. That people around here just... Look, and then I'll get to that in a minute if I remember. But anyway, so he was like, yeah... Because that's the reason why he was like, I don't fool with him no more. They ain't my friend. I ain't cool with him. Who does that? Why would you give somebody's number to somebody? Like, even when it comes to my parents, I done told my parents not to even give my number or address to relatives. These are blood-related relatives. I don't even want them to have my address. Like, it was to the point where it's not that I even had to tell them. My mama was like, hey, your cousin want to know your address. Da-da-da-da-da. And I was like, nah, ma. Like, no. And it's like, my mama know me, but she just wanted to let me know. And I'm like, if you don't put whatever it is that they trying to send to me in a package that coming from y'all and do it that way, I just won't be getting it. Because no, I'm not fool with y'all like that. Like, I mean, it's just true. Some people be trying to be nosy and then try to act like, oh, I want to know this, that. No. You just trying to be nosy. You don't care. You really don't care. And I know, like, now that I'm an adult, I know so many things. And I'm like, no, it's not genuine. So I ain't got time. So we ain't never played that. I don't understand what type of time that dude is on, because who don't know that if the person didn't tell you, yeah, you can get my number to this person, that you don't pass off somebody else's number to them. That's like me giving somebody's email address and actual home address to a person that was like, hey, I want to get in touch with them. Let me just do this. No, I will ask permission first. That's what I will do. Like, what in the world? That threw me all the way off. So he done got in touch with him. And like I told y'all the other day, he done lost his entire mind. He reaching out to people, calling them back to back now. Like, as of now, this week. Calling like crazy. Sir, you need to go ahead and hang it up flat screen. Hang it up flat screen. You should have been looking for another job. It done been 2.5 weeks since all this went down. You should have found you something else by now. Went to a 10 agency until you found something else, and hope you can find something else. Because at this point in time, if you don't go somewhere and sit down, now because you doing all of what you're doing, oh, you finna get a lawsuit. You finna get sued. You finna get some charges put on you. And you don't even know it. You about to get sexual harassment charges filed against you, and you don't even know it. He's about to do that. That's what he's about to do. Because you're doing the most. You're already trying to bribe him. You done did the most. So yeah, y'all, I had to update y'all on that. But also, so part of the conversation when he and I were talking today was, I didn't tell y'all this yesterday, because when I found out about it, I was livid. And then I told my friends that I talk to every day, I told them about it, left them some messages telling them about it, because I think I've told them about it before, but if I didn't, I just wanted to make sure that they were made aware of it, because I don't have time for it. I know I've mentioned it on here before. So I've told y'all that I have some stalkers. right? Okay, so this one dude in particular, he's a young guy. He's under the age of 30, but he's in his late 30s. When I first met him, he had a 3-year-old, so his son should be like around 5 now. So I met him one time. Now, this is the thing as far as the meeting is concerned. So remember, for those of y'all who've been here for quite some time, like for at least 3 years, there was a time period, like right when COVID was about to like really kick in, when people were really recognizing it, like even before they started recognizing it here in Virginia, which was like the end of April, beginning of May in 2020. For some reason, I couldn't sleep. I don't know what that was about. Still to this day, it wasn't because of my breakup. My breakup happened at the, towards the end of the year in 2019. But y'all don't understand how unfazed I was. I did not, that is the worst. That is the craziest that I've ever felt about a relationship ending. Like, I was relieved more than anything else. I wasn't broken up about it. I have not cried to this day about it. You know what I'm saying? But I did and still do need to fully heal because of the things that have been said to me, that he made me feel a certain type of way when he would say these things to me that I should not have accepted. And I was sitting up there accepting stupid things that he was putting out there. It was just a lot of stuff that I had to just distance myself from, and I have to disassociate myself and just break away from, right? Okay, so during that time, I was not sleeping. So I would be up. And so I'm like on, I had gotten on this app that I had been on before where I have met some of the most amazing friends that I still have to this day. The guy who I would have had a 14-year-old with is one of those people, right? And so that's a place where I tend to be able to find people that I can have like little conversations with to pass the time. So I was back on there. I got back on there for that purpose. Now, when I first got on there, I was in college. And after I had gotten in my relationship with my ex, I had like deleted all profiles that didn't have nothing to do with Facebook, Instagram, little stuff like that, because I'm going to keep in contact with my family members. So that was one of the ones that I got rid of. So when my relationship ended, I was just trying to figure out, what I could get on after I had a little time to myself, not really dealing with nobody, not really talking to anybody. I really wasn't even on IG scrolling and looking at videos and, reels and little stuff like that at all at that time. So I was like, you know what? Let me get on there, because it used to be a whole vibe. It was just a situation where when you got on there, that's literally where you went to make friends. I didn't believe it until I got on there when I was in college, but that is really what it was for. And I have met some of the nicest people on there. Fast forward to now. So far, there has only been one really, really great connection. The other one is questionable because he's married and he be thinking that he might catch me in a vulnerable place. Well, he be hoping, let me put it like that. But he ain't ever tried me per se, but it's like, sir, you're married. Like, I'm not trying to be in a relationship with nobody anyway. So, nah. He has been trying to focus on his marriage as of late, which I'm glad about, because I have told him since I first had any dealings with him. We never met in person. I have always told him, you need to focus on your wife. You need to talk to her. Y'all been married 10 to 12 years. And if you feel like this is a situation where she did everything she wanted to do and needed to do in order to get the ring, and now has it and is walking around to my eyes married, and that's it, and don't want to do nothing, when you have a high sex drive and all of this other stuff, and when I tell y'all this man be talking to me, I be bored out of my mind, about to go to sleep. Like, how do you deal with this? Your life consists of doing pretty much nothing. Like, I was just like, oh no, you would think I'm a club person the way I'm talking at this point. Like, I'm not. But his life seems so boring, and I'm just like, I would not want no parts of that foolishness in my life. But anyway, so the only real connection and friendship that I have is someone who I met And it's funny because he's not from this city that I live in, but he's from another part of Virginia. And he is somebody who I think I've discussed briefly before, but he is in the military. He is late 20s. He is somebody who he is so sweet, y'all. I just can't. I think I've said to y'all that I cannot believe that after everything that his parents did to him and experiencing the loss of his sister because she committed suicide, it was a lot. Like, he went through so much. I cannot believe that as sweet as he is, that he actually is as nice and as sweet as he is, given everything that has happened to him. His parents didn't do what they were supposed to do as parents when he was growing up. He had to raise himself. When I tell y'all, I just could not believe. It's like, how are you the same person that you are right now? Like, I don't understand. But he lived for his parents. He does so much for them. And when he felt comfortable talking to me about more of his personal life outside of the military, he shared something with me about how his dad won this award for like being on the job for like 20 something years, and they praised him. I was like, oh, that's dope. And that was like before I found out about how his daddy, did him when he was younger. But yeah, y'all, I can't. But yeah, dude is cool. Oh, this is the same person. This is the most recent thing that I told y'all about. When that 3-day Travis Scott thing happened, he was supposed to go and he bought tickets. He spent like $1,000 and something or $2,000 and something on them tickets, and he was here. He came an hour and a half, 2 hours, or 3 hours, however many hours it is away from where his parents live, to come to the city that I live in to see me before he went to Texas, which is where he lives now. He's in the military, and whenever they go active or whatever, he loved how everything went back then when COVID and everything hit. Eventually, did he leave in 2021? He left in 2020. Wait a minute. He left in 2020. He had a 6 month or 9 month, 6 month, 9 month, or a 1 year mission, somewhere near Texas and all that stuff is all I'm gonna say. Apparently whatever he had to do was very classified, and that's why he never could tell me what was going on. He had a lot of important stuff to do. He started kind of telling me some of the stuff, but it's so classified that he still can't tell me to this day what it was. But it was a lot of crowd control and some more stuff. It was some stuff that was going on. He said it was a lot of stuff he saw that to this day he cannot even tell me about because, again, it was classified. So, like, everything. He plans on doing certain things when he does go to school. And what he plans on doing is going to be very lucrative. He is very intelligent. So I already know he's going to be rich. But he went into the military, and that's what he's doing for now, even though he doesn't have to. He saves his money. At one point in time, anything that I gave him on a list, he would have gotten it for me, and I had to tell him no. I was about it. That first year that he met me for Christmas, he was gone. This is when he first got sent away. He asked me what I wanted for Christmas, and I was like, why? He was like, send me a list of everything you want. Y'all, I had a chair, a gaming chair, a brand new phone, because I really was actually about to get a brand new cell phone, and I told him the exact one I wanted. I told him that I was going to get another bed, but I haven't done that yet. I didn't really need it, but that's what I wanted. And those were like the main things. I said some other stuff too, but the main thing that I was going to get at the time was a gaming chair, and a cell phone. He was about to get all that stuff. I had to tell him, don't get anything at all for me. Like, I had to set it off on the left, right, front, and back and tell him no, because I could tell what he was going to do. Like, before he ever even said anything, I said, if you have any plans on getting any of this for me, don't you dare. So he was about to ignore me. And then I asked him, I said, why did you ask me that? He finally told me because he was going to get all of it for me and send it to me. And I said, no. So, needless to say, he does like me, but he is trying not to like me on that level to where he will have deep feelings for me. And I appreciate that, because I'm not going to be able to provide what he wants. And he's younger, even though he is very much so legal. I don't need to go the young route no more, or at least I don't believe I do. Even though he is very mature for his age. We could definitely have playful moments. When he came to see me last, like ever since I first met him, I somehow always see him on his birthday. Again, he drove all the way from where his parents live to come to this city to see me. The fact that he takes time out of his schedule, when he could have went on to Texas to that concert. He stopped by here and he was supposed to leave by a certain time. So then I was like, okay, well, it's about, whatever time. He was like, oh, that's all right. And he stayed here a little bit longer. And that's when the trampling happened, y'all. He was en route by this time. And I was like, oh my God, he was going to be there. So he said, it's okay. I'm just going to miss the first day. And then I'll just go and, whatever. He was just going to see the other ones, because the main person he wanted to see was Young Thug. So I was like, oh God. Like, I ended up messaging him. He didn't know what was going on because he was driving. And I'm pretty sure he was just listening to music. And so I texted him and I told him what was going on. And so he looked up on social media and he saw all the stuff that was going on, looked it up and verified and all of that, right? So, yeah. He is so far the only one who has been 100% solid that I've met in recent years on there. Everybody else is trash. Everybody else, they'll try to make it seem like, oh, well, I just want to be your friend. I understand what your profile says, but I'm open to be your friend. And I'm like, no, you're thinking that you're going to open my thighs and butt cheeks. In y'all's mind, a friend is a woman who has orifices that you think that you're going to feel and please yourself, and that's it. Now, if I was on that type of tip, I just don't feel like any of y'all are going to be able to do what I need y'all to do for me anyway, and I'm not here for it, and I don't care. So, no. Anyway, so this particular guy, hopefully y'all didn't think that something happened, and it didn't. Just if you caught it, you caught it, but that's not what it was. It's me being nervous and moving my foot on my Crocs. So anyway, to make a long story short, like I said, he has pretty much been the only one who has been consistent. And we follow each other on IG and stuff like that, TikTok, all that good stuff. And he's dope. He's a dope dude. Like, he really is a stand-up dude. Like, he goes above and beyond for any and everybody. His ex used to hate that. His ex actually hated me. And I'm like, girl, why you hate me? He ain't even my man. She hated me because I'm a BBW. I'm considered to be a BBW or whatever. In all honesty, I'm a SSBBW, which means supersized, big, beautiful woman. Or for me, I like saying big black woman. But anyway, he likes that. She didn't like that. He liked that. She lost weight. She was thick, but then she lost weight. And, he still loved her. She ended up ending their relationship for no reason. He wasn't cheating. He was doing right by her. Even after their relationship was over with, he was paying her part of the rent. He went out and bought a laptop that he had built from scratch for this heifer. I said, ain't no way. It kind of made me mad that I didn't take him up on the offer to buy all this stuff for me. Because at this point, why? Y'all ain't even together. Y'all ain't even screwing no more. You doing too much for this heifer. Y'all, I was tired. Anyway, but I said all that to say this. So the guy who reached out to me yesterday or the day before yesterday, he gonna send me a little friend request. Boy, if you don't get out of here. He has made countless profiles. Whenever I realize it's him, I block him. At one point in time, he thought he was slick. And so he put up random pictures where you couldn't tell it was him. And so I'm the type of person, I'll talk to you. If I, think you're okay, if you seem okay. But the way he would talk, eventually it would give away that it was him. I would have discernment and I'm like, no, I feel like it's him. And I would be right. And then the last time he did that, he asked me, how did I know? And I said, because it's the way you were talking. Like, I could always figure it out. I always figure it out. Even if I don't tell him. Sometimes I block him before it gets to that point. But anyway, yeah, I went on ahead and blocked him because I was going to go off and be like, why do you keep reaching out to me? I want nothing to do with you. When we did meet up that one time we met up, it was because he's a nurse. And I think I already said this. I forgot if I did, but if I didn't, he is a nurse and he has a child who was like, he should be like 5 years old now or about to be 5. And so he tried to force himself on me. I still have the messages to this day in my old phone that the Lord knew. The Lord knew because I was supposed to turn that phone in to get like a $300 or $400 credit towards the phone that I have currently, and I didn't. So my account got charged for it because if I didn't turn it in by a certain time, it was going to be, if I didn't mail it in by a certain time, my account was going to be, drafted, if you will. And it was. And I was like, what is my account? And I was like, oh, okay, because I never turned the phone in. Whatever, it is what it is. But the Lord knew. This is the first time that I've ever like kept a phone when I could have just, turned it in to get money. Anyway, I have all of the proof where he was reaching out to me after it happened, and he gonna try to say to me, well, I don't understand, ever since I came and met you, you've been acting different. And I was like, yeah, because you tried to force yourself on me. Like, what are we talking about? He was like, yeah, you're right. I apologize. Like, he really apologized over and over again for that. And he gonna tell me that he felt like it was wrong, and so he stopped himself. And I'm saying to myself, you stopped yourself because it felt wrong. Like, before you tried to do this, you didn't think that that would have been wrong in thought? Before you started to try to execute? Oh, okay. Y'all, to make a long story short, he gonna eventually, like, he kept reaching out. Now, I don't know how messed up in my mind I was at that time, but I was kind of trying to, like, put it out of my mind that it happened. I was trying to focus on the fact that before we met, we had never discussed sex. We had never discussed anything that I myself would deem as inappropriate, right? Never. And so he was like, well, how you doing here? Reach out to me and be like, hey, how you doing or whatever. And I would just keep it at, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? It would just be cordial. Hope you have a good day, whatever. COVID going on. So it's like, in my mind, I guess I was thinking like, okay, life is short. He has apologized. Rape actually did not happen, even though he was trying to. He was trying to force himself on me. Like, I was running around my apartment. I was running around my unit, saying to myself, God, please, no, not again. Like, for real. And when I thought that it was about to get to that point, he eventually stopped. So, yeah, it was about to be real. So, the fact that he thought that, apologizing and some time going by was enough, that I should have just gone on by my bit. Like, this man had the audacity to say to me, after reaching out several times, changing the profile up after I would block him, he would be like, you still on that? That happened how many months ago? I was like, the people in this area, the audacity, I don't understand where they find and or create the audacity that they have. I don't understand it. They have so much audacity around here. Like, that's why I don't be wanting nothing to deal with these dudes. I don't be wanting nothing to do with them. Now, a lot of the women that I've had dealings with, I ain't never had no dealings, no crazy dealings with most of the women here. So, I'm great with having female friends. So, it's just the guys around here, they just be on one. So then the dude, he was like, oh, so you ain't know they was like that around here? I was like, no. I said, I'm now finally really realizing that y'all are on something. Everybody that is from this city and the surrounding cities, counties, and all that stuff, y'all are on one. Y'all are on something. Something is wrong with y'all. Something is really wrong. But yeah, like, he really be sitting up here thinking that I'm supposed to forgive and forget. And I ain't gonna lie, part of me kind of wanted to be like, okay, let me forgive him in my heart, because he didn't actually do anything to me, but he really did. Like, he triggered the things that actually did happen to me. I had already gone to therapy for all of this. I've been to therapy to work through these issues. I could not even thrive in my relationships because I had so many blocks, mental blocks up that I didn't even realize I had until I went to therapy. And when I tell you, when I would leave those therapy sessions, I would sit in my car like, oh my gosh. Like, I really would sit there like, oh my gosh. And things just started to flow as they should within my relationships with people, relationships with the guys that I was with. You know, even though at times they would end up being trash, but I'm just saying, like, the people that themselves were trash, the things that had been being blocked within my relationships, they were no longer blocked. Things that had always been blocked, I just thought that was just the way it was supposed to be. It wasn't that way anymore after I was going to therapy. That therapy is some of the best thing. That is one of the best things I ever did in my life, was to go to therapy. I needed that for the childhood rape that happened to me. I needed that for the adult rape that happened to me. I needed that for the molestation that my uncle had been doing to me. I needed that because it created a toxic environment within myself to where my mind would say, I don't need to be here anymore, because for some reason when people look at me, they want to hurt me. So why not hurt my own self? Nobody will miss me. Like, I really would convince myself that nobody would care if I was gone. I was so suicidal, it didn't even make no sense. And I hadn't been suicidal in a really long time until my ex pulled a gun on me. I hadn't been suicidal since before I met my ex, after I had gone through everything. Now, I had been with my ex for 10 years, y'all. I didn't become suicidal until those last, 6 months to a year before our relationship ended, when he pulled a gun on me. Because at this point, he had pulled a gun on me twice. Pulled a gun on me twice. And I was just like, that last time, I have been so tired of fighting, because I'm not a fighter. I don't like arguing. I do not like arguing with anybody about anything, especially when you're the one in the wrong and you're trying to project what you've been doing onto me and try to make me out to be the bad guy when it's really you. I can't stand it. And my ex used to do that so much, and it just used to infuriate me. But I'm not yelling with you. I'm not going to scream. And that used to make him yell and scream even more at me and get very belligerent. He was such an easily aggravated person. But I was never that. I'm never that type of person that's going to give you that energy. Like, I feel like because I would be calm in the situations, that even when he would be yelling at me, I'll be talking at a normal tone. And he hated it. He hated it. I could be saying the simplest of things to him, and in order to prove his point, which would still be wrong, in order for him to have the last say, in order for him to feel like he is right in cheating on me and treating me like trash, he would keep his voice raised, talk crazy to me, buck up on me, all this other stuff. I'm actually surprised that he never went upside my head. I'm very surprised. I'm very surprised, because while growing up, he used to always put his fist through through walls and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a lot. It was very heavy. So once I see the red flags and stuff, now I'm done. Ain't nothing for me to talk to you about. Like, no. Despite the fact that those conversations went well between myself and that guy, who in my mind, he is a stalker. He's one of the stalkers that I have. And I'm like, I don't have time for that. We have nothing to discuss. It doesn't matter what happened before you and I met in person. I don't have time for it no more. I don't have time for it, because you've shown me who you truly are and what you can be, what you could be capable of. I'm not going to sit up here and put myself in that position again. That was me being stupid. Now, I trusted that the person that I had been talking to was how he was going to be in person. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like because he had a lot to lose, because he's a nerd. Like, you got to go through a lot. You paying all this money. Like, ain't nobody got time. Why would you do that? And he had a child. Like, he was very active in his son's life. So in my mind, I might think differently from other people. When I have any interactions with people, even if it's going to be a friendship, a possible friendship, I look at it from all angles, especially when it's a guy. I'm looking at it like, okay, he has this really good job. He gets paid well at this job, and he has a son. So I don't think he's going to do anything to jeopardize that. So when he did what he did, I was just very, very taken aback. I just couldn't believe it and triggered. So yeah, y'all, blocked him. And I guess I gotta wait and see when he come up with something else, because he really be trying me. Like, he really would go to great lengths. He would put other locations that had nothing to do with this state. I'll be looking like, bruh, like, you're not from Alabama. He would do Alabama sometimes. He would do other countries. I was like, bruh, you are not from there. Like, why do you do that? You're doing the most. I don't want nothing to do with you. There's so many other people out there. But anyway, y'all, I just wanted to give y'all that update. I'm sorry it went on for so long, but stuff be happening, y'all. Y'all know how I do. It brings up things that I've, experienced, so I end up talking about it. Hopefully, y'all have learned to just start fast forwarding, so y'all don't have to sit through it as long. My bad. But anyway, y'all have a good day. I'm about to go in here and try to enjoy my last few hours of freedom until I got to go back up in this place. All right, y'all. Pray for me. Pray I have an amazing work week this week, because I don't really know what's in store, but I'm glad I didn't have to see them people today. That was the blessing in this week for me. All right, y'all have a good one. I hope that y'all have a wonderful day. Be safe out there. I'll see y'all later on. Bye.